even with this Neuralink thing, there might be a possibility where he gets shut down and then Google and Alphabet and the Pentagon come in and then they're like, we got the newer microchip. It's a lot better. And there's no one that's going to stop us because we're going to have the monopoly on this as we just stopped Elon Musk. So there's an argument here that I've been going back and forth on, that I've been talking about for a very long time, is that Elon Musk has a lot of power and a lot of responsibility. And when it comes to that power and responsibility, we want to specifically know if he's going to be using that power and responsibility in a good way or in a bad way, because that's a lot of power for one individual to have. Is he doing it so these new powers, this new technology is going to be used for the greater good? Or is that greater good just going to ruin him and destroy him because it's too much power for one single person to have? That's a question that I've been going back and forth on. I don't know. What do you think?
Well, hold on. I just figured it out. I'm just going to hate everyone because Elon Musk, I mean, what if he's like the Pied Piper acting like he's doing all this good for us. I got free speech for you right here. And then basically there's a box that says free speech and there's a stick. And everybody's running over to it, and he's going to pull that stick, and the box is going to come down. You know what I mean? That
is what's happening, in my opinion. And I'm going to tell you why. I've been in this movement for a while. 2 years ago, conservatives would have never defended this chip at all. I remember I used to talk about it. Now, if you look, though, if you talk about the Elon Musk chip on Twitter, conservatives will defend it now. It's like, we actually love it. And I don't think he can use it for good because he's a godless soul, right? And he already told you why he's doing it. It's not for the greater good. He said, we can't win against AI, so we need to combine with AI. He told you this on the Joe Rogan interview, clear cut.
Well, AI is going to be the next... people don't understand the significance of artificial intelligence. Vladimir Putin has called it the next nuclear weapon, and the country that develops it first will have ultimate potential to have total world domination with it. So when it comes to this power, who would you rather have this latest technology? This is the question that I think maybe some Elon Musk fanboys are asking themselves. Do you want China to have that power? Do you want Alphabet to have that power? Or Google, the Pentagon? Or do you want Elon Musk, who is representing the larger ideas of free speech? But at the same time, if you're doing that, you shouldn't be wearing a Satan costume that's worth $9,000 and still have it as your main profile picture on Twitter.
and he changed his location to hell. But my issue
did he really? No,
yeah,
did he really? I didn't see that.
Yeah, he changed his location on Twitter to hell, but he changed it back. But my question is, if Elon Musk does have the power, who's to say that Google won't create a better version while he has it?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, they're going to get
or
the power
if he builds it, they take it over and hijack the technology for their own personal benefit. But the argument is they're building the technology anyway. It's going to be here anyway. Who's going to be navigating it is the kind of conversation that I think is being had here.
He has said, like, he's tried talking to Congress about the dangers of AI while also creating things that I think are wildly dangerous that sever you from humanity and God. And I think the chip is bad, and I don't agree with it. And then obviously I like what he's doing with Twitter, but even with that, he's kind of leading with subjectivity. He's basing his emotions on Alex Jones or like on his own personal feelings. And I'm just like, I think you should be able to say whatever you want.
Of course, but at least he's being honest about it.
He's being transparent
about it. You won't see Google doing that. You don't see Alphabet doing that.
And that's why he's better than the Alphabet people.
But it was like a child, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
He banned Kanye.
It's a little better, though.
He said he banned Kanye because
inciting violence.
Yeah, because it made me want to punch Kanye, so that's why I banned him.
Yeah.
He's like
who's being violent now?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Come on.
I had this vision. It was like one day we were doing the after show, and I had this idea for like a TV show. And it's basically, I'll try and give you the quick synopsis. There's one city left on Earth. The entire planet is basically wiped out. There's just like abandoned cities everywhere. And it's like 2080 or something. There's a few million people living in this big city. It's the last city. And they have like scouting missions going out and gathering old technology and stuff. When one day they come across these creepy, slim looking humanoid creatures with chrome helmets who just like blast them with an energy wave and kill their scouting party. But one guy escapes. The long story short of it is, the people don't understand why the world ended. The news records just ceases. They're looking at old data centers and they're like trying to go online and find records and newspapers, and around like, a certain period, or maybe it's like 21 something, a certain period like in 2070s, news just starts to slowly stop, but there's no definitive end. There's no warning. There's no war. Just one day they're like the record just slowly trickles off and stops. So the general idea is, what would happen if Neuralink became the thing today and everyone started using it? The conversation would be happening on Neuralink more and more and more. And if you weren't using it, you would have no access to the latest news. You wouldn't be in the network. So then 100 years later, the people who refused, call it, godless or evil or satanic or whatever, they're like, we don't know what happened. Just one day, like everybody was gone. We can't if you're like third or fourth generation down, you're like, the people all left. We don't know where they went. There's no records of history. But then those creepy creatures I mentioned are the people who are living in pods underground, wired into the Neuralink, who come up periodically to collect resources. So that was my idea.
It's kind of like
it's basically like its vision of what may happen.
that's like the evolved version of people deleting friends off, different social media platforms. You enter these little bubbles, and then when you see them again, like 2 years have passed and politics have passed, and they have all these new ideas, they look like creatures to you.
Everything's different.
Yeah.
No, I just mean like the people who use Neuralink will be having a conversation you won't be able to see or hear because you don't have Neuralink.
Yeah.
Give that 100 years, and what's that going to be? It's going to be like two different species, just outright.
It will be. Elon Musk said he wants everybody to have access to any information with Neuralink. That's what he said he wanted from it out of his own mouth. So what you're saying is like, you might call it a daydream or something, but that sounds like, what, 50 years in my opinion, something like that?
Well, who knows with how fast technology is advancing. And he also said he could have a microchip already in his brain and no one would be able to even know that he has it. So that's what he said publicly as well.
I think he does.
Yeah, he's
I
a
think he
cyborg.
does,
That dude
yeah.
is weird, man. he got something in his brain.
I would
bro.
love to talk to him about transhumanism, artificial intelligence. I think he knows a lot more than he's letting on to. But his words warning people about AI, I think, is very important that we should be paying attention to.
It is. Have you guys seen that viral Chat GPT thing? The OpenAI released this chatbot. Man, it's crazy. Homework is gone. There's no such thing as homework anymore. So if you're a teacher and you tell a kid, write an essay about, the Pilgrims landing and what happened, you open up Chat GPT and you say, write an essay about the Pilgrims landing at Plymouth Rock, and it will generate a unique essay. Boom, just like that. And then you click print and you go, here you go, all done. So this Chat AI, somebody did something funny where they were like, write a joke about George Floyd in the style of Jerry Seinfeld, and it was just really, really bad. They were like, well, the funny thing is they said it wasn't funny, but I think it was because they were a woke person. They didn't find it funny because it wasn't funny in the way you'd expect a joke to be funny, but it was kind of funny. This robot trying to mock the death, like it's like dark, it's like black humor, like very brutal. But this AI stuff, someone put the political typology quiz to it. Like they asked these questions, and the AI was a liberal. 1 degree to the right of a progressive leftist. So like actually kind of far left. The AIs that are all being trained are being trained by a censored far left internet. So the future, if conservatives resist all of this and the left accepts all of this, it's going to be like some weird sci-fi movie where you got like some dude in camo gear with like black paint under his eyes and like an AR fighting some weird dude flying through the air shooting lasers at him.
Me, I'm Rambo, man. Let's get it. I'm ready. I like the war.
Bryson versus RoboCop.
You feel me? Let's get it, guaranteed.
But I think people are going to adopt. Earlier on saying like who's going to want to get a chip in their brain. I think you made a good point when you're talking about the lockdowns and how everyone just marches along. And now I'm just like, yep, you know what? It's just going to happen.
I'm going to go, I agree with that still, but I also want to say like, and this might be like a contact high from the positivity from Yean this weekend, but like, in California, every driver I had long conversations with all of them. They were all anti-lockdown, like the government overreach, and I was shocked.
Yep.
Because it really blew my brain. Because the news, and I've never been out there, and they make you think it's a wasteland. I think a lot of places are a wasteland in this country right now after the last 2 years. But they were so positive, and they saw like a hope after learning. Like they saw the government destroy so many things. Mm-hmm. So like I did take away some positivity from those. It's a handful of conversations, but I didn't expect to have those. So maybe there's a little bit of hope out there.
Well, I think most people are still like conservatives. If there's a fair battle of ideas, conservatives always win. You can see that with Andrew Tate, right? They had to ban Andrew Tate. Mm-hmm. He became the most popular person in the world fairly quickly, to the point where he went against the Hassan Pikers, he went against all these people, and he won the battle of ideas to the point to where they had to say, you're out of here. So if there's a fair battle of ideas, we still win because we have.
But so here's the crazy thing. Why? If the ideas they have lose, why do they want them to be maintained?
They like power.
Yeah.
No, I get that, but why not just adopt the good idea and maintain power then?
They don't think it's a good. Well, I mean, there's always gonna be friction in humanity. That's as natural as humanity as eating and drinking water, right? It always has to be friction. So I think they want their ideas to win. I'm gonna be honest, right? This might sound crazy. I think a lot of these kids were put on these pills when they were younger, and they grow up and they don't understand. They don't understand. No, I was at a Matt Walsh rally, and I saw a guy with green hair spit on a guy that was on our side, and I'm like, do you know what happened where I'm from if you spit on somebody? But I don't think these people understand. No. They get put on these pills. These pills literally tell you they make you crazy, right? And I don't think they can. That's why they can't function if somebody disagrees with them, right?
Right.
That's why they can't just function. So I think these are the people in charge of Twitter, not anymore, in charge of social media, in charge of everything.
And what's going to happen is there's going to be this ad campaign from Neuralink where it's like only racists don't get Neuralink, and they're going to go, I'm not a racist. Plug me in, baby. Just they're going to have like a thing that's going to go into your spine and go.
Literally,
you could be an oppressed minority in the AI digital system if you get the brain chip. I see that coming. Like, you could be Native American. Wow. Elizabeth Warren signing up right now. Like, yes, I mean, get to live my life.
And then you won't be able to buy or sell with it.
I couldn't see. I couldn't see the shift from Elon Musk, Neuralink playing woke to try and get people to sign up. That's why I'm like, is he this Pied Piper who's trying to convince all of these people on the right? Think about it this way. What group of people will reject Neuralink outright? Okay, it's conservatives. They go on shows and they'll outright say, like, I'm never getting that. I mean, you're saying it right now. So Elon Musk knows, I don't need to win over the left. They're going to do it. They're going to do whatever they're told to do. The right is going to resist. I need to win them over. And then he'll come out, and I don't know exactly what he'll do to try and convince people to get Neuralink. He'll say something like, we've had people defending it, and fair point, people who are paralyzed and stuff, that really can't help them. But I wouldn't be surprised if he comes out and he's like, we're going to have absolute free speech and we're going to bypass the system and push back and boot out the FBI deep state and we're going to do it on Neuralink.
We're going to progress ourselves out of existence. Like, that's what's happening. Yes. And I don't like that future. I think it's a very bleak future.
One generation at a time, slowly more and more machine.
Yeah.
And then in 1,000 years, there's no humans. There's just weird robots flying around making more of themselves.
Wall-E.
But isn't that the way they convince people? Because all you have to do, and the media does this all the time, and the left they're the best at it. You control people with emotions, right? If somebody's emotionally attached to something, you have a better chance of convincing them. So if Neuralink, like you already said, it can help somebody in a wheelchair, or Elon Musk said it can help you if you're blind. It can help you if you have Alzheimer's. You know what I'm saying? Everybody knows somebody in their family with these things. You know what I'm saying? So if they pull on your emotional strings, I think a lot of people will start getting it for their family, and then next thing you know, it's normalized, and everybody will have it.
Not just that, but if you're depressed, if you're anxious, which a lot of people are because of how the diet has been essentially destroyed here in the United States, which more and more people are becoming as they're becoming dependent on big pharma, just to normalize their hormone levels and endocrine system. They have been fried emotionally, and I think there's a reason that this is happening. I think this is all deliberate. I think this is all a part of their agenda, because when you're sad, when you're pathetic, you need someone else to step into your life and then take control of it. That person stepping is the government, and that government needs and relies on those people who are destroyed essentially by them as well.
And look at what's happening in Canada with MAID. It's like the opposite version, but just as dark. Sign up, fill out an application to take your life away. I mean, and for simple reasons like that too. It's really that terrifies me.
You guys
the same thing.
You guys ever see the movie Gamer with what's that guy's name?
Sounds familiar.
Well, Gerard Butler's in it. So basically, there's a guy, he's like falsely accused or something, and then if you're on death row, you're granted freedom if you elect to be used as an avatar in a game where video gamers can control your body. And so Gerard Butler's in like this battlefield, he's got to kill people or whatever, and this kid's controlling him, and he's like, "Hey, give me control." You never seen this?
No,
I haven't either.
And
what year is this?
10 years ago.
Oh,
and so Gerard Butler's like, "Give me control and I'll win." And so then the kid like stops, and then Gerard Butler just goes ape and starts taking everybody out. But then basically the point of the story is they have these online games where you can take some kind of like brain implant that you like snort or something, and then give up control of your body to someone to use you as an avatar. So there's like people who go to this club scene, and then people use their bodies for like weird sex stuff. And then in the end, what happens is the guy who made it all has absolute control over everyone else who's plugged in.
Right.
So there's like the scene where he's like doing this weird movement, and all the guys around him are doing the same thing, like he's puppeteering them.
Yeah,
That's the thing about Neuralink, why I'm like, I would love the idea of being able to plug your brain and like you're transported into an actual Skyrim, like you see an experience throwing fireballs at a dragon or something. But what's going to happen is Elon's going to knock on your door, and you're going to be like, oh, Elon Musk, and he's going to go, turn around, go make me a pizza. And you're going to go, yes, Elon. And you're going to turn around and you're going to go do it. And then you're going to be sitting there and you're going to go, you're going to be making the pizza going, why am I making a pizza for him? It feels so good. I love doing this. It's like, when they have Neuralink in your brain, they're going to come to you and they're going to say, inject this into your blood. They're going to say, hand your kid over, and you're going to basically orgasm when you do these things you hate. They will get you to do things you hate, and it will feel good.
Thousands of orgasms in your pod as you're being force-fed bugs is essentially the future that allows people.
You just sold it to some people out there.
Exactly.
Like, there's
I'm not kidding.
someone.
That's literally what they're going to be doing. That's how they're going to be getting. That's how they're going to destroy humanity with pleasure. So I think it's going to be a mix though of a 1984 style totalitarian government with, of course, a Soma Brave New World reality that I think is also going to be prevalent as well. And we're seeing this left and right kind of dichotomy being pushed back and forth. And this is the kind of lock steps that are being put into place, acquiescing society towards total slavery.
Thanks for watching this clip from the Timcast IRL podcast. Hang out with us live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. and become a member over at timcast.com for uncensored, members-only shows exclusive. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you all next time.